Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Why Invest Wednesday, going live today. Today we are talking about getting out of that rental cycle. And first things first, I am a long-term rental guy. I have some long-term rental homes, and I have one short-term rental that I'm working on. So coming from a property owner, landlord's perspective, I will tell you that we are told as realtors, as property managers, whatever it is, that if you increase the rent between 5 and 10% every year, that will not cause someone to move out. So we already know that. They train us that way. So we have a built-in increase of every 10 years, we're doubling our income, I guess. And so just so you know, that's what's out there. And obviously I'm a realtor as well, and I believe in home ownership, and I want to get everybody from the rental market into the buying market. And so I'm here to tell you today that I've been told millions of times, like, I'm going to rent for a year, or we even are looking at houses, and we're at that point, gets too contentious, life gets too stressful, maybe you feel like you're not finding anything that's perfect, and you say, I'm going to rent for a year. Okay, I obviously try and steer you away from that, because obviously if you're renting for a year, you're throwing, in the Denver market, you're throwing 20 grand away easy, paying someone else's mortgage, letting them build their wealth. The truth is, every month that someone pays a rent payment to me, it's paying off my mortgage, not theirs. And so, you know, as a tool of investment, that's obviously needed sometimes. There's definitely need for housing. It's a common need. That's why real estate investment is so important. But also, there has to be an end. This is the truest way I know that I've done to build wealth. And so home ownership is key. And I really want to help everybody from, you know, my youngest brother to, you know, anybody that I come across, get from a rental state to a purchasing state. And that's not because, you know, I want to make the commissions and things like that. That's a byproduct for sure. But I know for certain that if you buy your first home in between the ages of 18 and 25, you're really set up to make yourself, you know, a ton of money as far as real estate goes, and have a nice enough, big enough, you know, home when, you know, family comes along and things like that, because you just build. Real estate just builds. You start with a small, you know, condo, townhome, whatever, house, and then all of a sudden you need a bigger one. You get some more stuff. You have some kids, whatever. You need a bigger one, and so on and so forth. So the bottom line is, getting out of your rental cycle is important, because the only thing that's guaranteed to go up every year is rent, pretty much, in my opinion. So yeah, so that's kind of my point, and that's where I'm coming from today. Just want to talk to you guys all about that. As always, subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit me up on Facebook, chats, Twitter, Instagram. I'm everywhere. So that's kind of that. So let's talk about what you can do today. Say you just signed a lease yesterday, you have 12 months, or you signed a lease last month and it's 18 months, whatever it is. The point is that you need to stop what you're doing, contact a professional. It can be me. I'm willing to chat with you anytime. It can be, you know, a lender you hear about on the radio. I wouldn't suggest that. I have some pretty awesome lenders that I can connect you with. But call somebody. It could be your brother who's a realtor, and say, okay, how do I get out of this? And my job as a realtor starts the moment you call me. And that's not to say I'm going to say, okay, you need to buy this house right now, and go from there. This is, let's make a plan. Let's do what's right for you, what you're comfortable with within your life cycle, whatever's going on. You know, do you need to get a better job? Okay, let's work on that. Do you need to pay off some debt? Let's work on that. Or maybe you don't. So we kind of take a holistic view. I will tell you that one of the things I'm going to tell you to do is contact a lender almost immediately. And the stuff about, like, I'm going to wait to pay off this credit card to talk to the lender or to have them pull credit, is silly, because lenders will help you get in a position to purchase a home. In our current market, if you're at the lower price points, it might take 5 months to from the time we start looking to get under contract, it could take 5-6 months. And, we have to be realistic. We have to be open and honest. We have to say, okay, like, I feel like you're looking for, $500,000 house for $250,000. And if that's the case, then we need to maybe adjust what we're doing, what we're thinking. So we sit down, we make a plan. I'll even take you to go look at some houses just to get you in the market, get you feeling. Everyone loves looking at houses. So that's kind of a trick to get you motivated, to be honest. But talk to somebody and say, this is what's going on. This is what I need. And then we'll go from there. Sorry, I got this text conversation going on here. Shout out to my cousin Jenny and my wife Sarah for making an appearance on today's show. Anyways, so we're going to sit down, we're going to talk, we're going to get a lender involved, we're going to look at your credit, we're going to say, okay, this needs to change, or maybe it's not possible for you to buy a house in the next 18 months. But if that's the case and you haven't signed a lease, maybe you get a longer term lease and you are protected from that raising rent. Maybe, I don't know. There's all kinds of things that come from that first meeting. But if you're not an open book, if you're not coming forward, if you're saying, oh, I don't want to talk to anybody until I pay this credit card off, the truth is you probably won't pay that credit card off. So unless we have a plan and a lender looks at your stuff and they say, okay, we need, this car payment gone. We need, your whatever credit card down to this or whatever it is, because it's really all based on monthly payments. So you could have $100,000 in student loan debt, but if you are in certain types of loans, if you're only paying, $200 a month on them, that's not nearly as devastating as a $700 car payment. So we're going to look at that stuff together. We're going to mix the lender's opinion with my opinion as far as what's realistic. Do we need to change, your dreams, your desires a little bit for the short term so that we can get to the perfect long-term dream eventually? And I say that a lot on here. So we're going to just take a holistic view, but the bottom line is do not wait. I have people call me often. Hey, my lease is up in 2 months. My lease is up next month. Hey, my lease is up in a week. That's too late. We cannot possibly, unless you know what you're doing, you got perfect credit, you have cash down. We cannot get you from the point of, 1 month into a house that quickly. Now we can hopefully maybe go month to month, but again, that's a trained time where landlords say, okay, yeah, you can go month to month, but we're going to raise your rent $400. So don't pretend like the landlords are just doing this because they're guessing. People tell you this when you're a property owner, what you can do and what you can get away with as far as raising rents and things like that, and not have vacancies and not have people turn away, because the honest truth is it's a pain in the butt to move. So people don't love moving. So if your rent goes up $50, $100, yeah, okay, but the cost of getting out there, taking several days to find a place, getting that pet approved and so on is not worth the $50 to $100 a month that you're gonna tick on. So that's not going to go away. Rents aren't going to start going down. In fact, they're going up faster than ever before because the price points are going up. And so houses cost more. So the landlords and property owners need to make more so that they can sustain the property. So the bottom line is, as we appreciate and value, then there we go. As well, then we talk about all the things we always talk about, the house appreciation. We've appreciated like 17% on average in the Denver metro area this year. I'm pretty sure not many people got a 17% raise at their current job. So setting goals, setting expectations. If the goal for you is to buy a home anytime in the next 5 years, let's sit down and talk, because regardless of if you're my tenant or you're renting from someone else or you're staying in your parents' basement, whatever that is, we can look at your situation, and when you want to be ready, we can make you ready. And some people are like, okay, let's sit down and do this. And we go through it and they're like, hey, I'll break my lease if I can buy a house in 6 months. I had no idea. And so there are those things, but take care of your credit, pay off your debts, make sure you're paying your bills on time and all of those things. I did hear that the rent, you can now use rent as to help your credit out when buying a house and things too. I don't know how that's going to factor in, but stay tuned for that. I'll figure that out too. But yeah, just as that goes, it's just reach out, talk to somebody, and let's make a plan. I got half an hour any day of the week to talk to somebody who wants to be a homeowner, and we sit down and we look at your actual situation. And the honest truth is, sometimes it has to be, okay, well, you're going to have to move from, the mountains to Aurora, or this is where the house that you desire is located. And sometimes that location doesn't work. So maybe we say, okay, well, we can try up here. We can't just find a house, your dream house, for the desired price in the middle of, the best neighborhood in the world. So we're going to work through that. We're going to manage expectations. We're going to make sure you're ready and that because everything has a plan. When I started business planning for my business, 4 or 5 years ago, I got in the business. I was just like, I just need clients. Let's go. Kind of doing it willy-nilly. I was pretty good at it, but I wasn't organized. Once I made an organized effort, took some goals and ran with them, set goals. Now I'm all of a sudden sitting here in the middle of August thinking about my 2022 goals and my 2022 business plan. So that's huge, and it's paid dividends for my business as well as my personal. So if you have any questions about that, somebody, tag them, send them this video. Let's sit down and talk. I'll buy you dinner. I'll buy you a drink. I'll buy you Starbucks, whatever you do, and we can really sit down and hammer it out. And I don't care if you're, sleeping on your mom's couch and don't have a job. If we can make a plan for housing, I can guarantee you that in 5 years, you're going to call me and be like, hell yeah, thank you. So that's that. Back to the Broncos decision here, moving to the sports world, a little bit lighter. Teddy Two Gloves, Teddy Bridgewater's the quarterback. Not my first choice. So that tells you what my first choice was. But we'll see how it goes. Lots of checkdowns, lots of conservative action coming. And, who knows? Drew Lock should have maybe sat down with me a year or two ago and made some different plans about where he's renting and where he's buying and things like that. But hopefully, if he does get an opportunity, he does well. And, if he doesn't, hopefully he gets an opportunity somewhere else and crushes it. And if he needs me to sell his house, I can definitely do that too. So if you hear that, Drew, sorry, man. I'm rooting for you still. I'll cheer for you when you come in down the road. But yeah, let's chat about that house. So yeah, other than that, we're winding up. I think the Rockies are almost done. I don't know. I haven't watched an inning all year. I'm sticking to my guns, not supporting a team that doesn't have a plan. So Broncos season's upon us. I did sell my preseason tickets to this week's game because my wife and the Salty Sisters are going to Estes Park. So if you're out and about, want to get out, Estes Park, craft fair up there, it'll be kind of cool. You can buy you a sign just like this. So shout out to the Salty Sisters. And like I said, tag somebody, message me somebody's info, message them my info. Let's chat. Let's get you out of paying someone else's wealth off, because that's goal number one. And there are programs and there are things that will work. You just have to be, an open book and get it out there, because if you tell me this is the last year you're going to lease, and then you don't talk to me until 2 months before your lease is up, likely going to sign another lease. So let's chat about that. Thanks for joining me. As always, like, comment, share. Let's get the comments going, guys. Come on. If you're watching this long, give me a comment. Come on. All right. Talk to you guys soon. Have a great Wednesday, and go Broncos. Cheers.